Chucky Rose. Over here, we have Skip.
Skip, Chun.
Then we have Rob. And Rob, you introduce
Scott.
Scott. Oh, Scott Gill. I haven't seen Scott Gill since I've been in the DLA, but he's assured me that he's going to come to each of our meetings from here on out. Let's give him a big hand. I'd like the advisory council to rise, please. Okay, right here we have. I thought I was going to do something with the Grand Lodge. The youth night, I just want to explain something to you about the youth night, what I can see the youth night to be. A lot of the lodges around here perceive that a youth night is where the Dean Malay or the Jobies or the Rainbow Girls go in and they do the ceremony of lights, or they do the flower talk, or they do the program for the Masons. That's not youth night. Youth night is when we as Masons do something for the youth. And they sit on the sidelines and they enjoy the program. So that's the purpose of youth night. So any of you and other lodges that are thinking about having youth night, this is something you should think about for your program. But I brought in, just to give you a little background on myself. I've been in the martial arts for about 22 years now. Black belt in karate, both Taekwondo and Okinawan style. And then about 13 years ago, I met somebody from China who was very well versed in the Cantonese Wing Chun Kung Fu system. Now that may not mean much to you, but the Cantonese style of Wing Chun was one system that made Bruce Lee so famous. And everybody, I think, knows who Bruce Lee was. But then when he fought in real life, which he did in China because he was, or Hong Kong, because he was in a gang, and also when he came to California and Seattle, he was also in the gang there. But he only used the Wing Chun system. The Wing Chun system is a highly combat, economical, practical system. It's mainly for self-defense. There aren't any fancy movements. There isn't any high kicks. We usually don't take our feet off the ground, but the kicks in our system are very important because they develop our legs. But just to tell you about the karate and kung fu and what you're going to see tonight, if you look at a chart, martial arts is just a general term. Then you have karate under it and kung fu. In the karate systems, you might have 10 true systems. And under that, you might have hundreds of systems where they've taken these systems and take a little bit from here and there and combine them together. And on the other side, you have kung fu, which is also a general term. They have 33 main systems. Some of the systems are internal and some are external. The Wing Chun system is an internal system. Also, I guess you've heard of Tai Chi, Bak Hua, and Yin Yi, which are all internal systems. It uses force, which all of us have, but only a few of us know how to develop it. And it's a force from within. They combine the force from within, the physical force, and the mind together to get the system. But in the Wing Chun system, it's the only system that's kind of with a centerline punch, the only system that's kind of with a centerline kick, the only system that blocks and strikes at the same exact moment. So it doesn't give the opponent any time to recuperate after you've blocked his punch. He's already struck. The force that is used is a soft force, but it's a very powerful force. If you think of the crack of a whip, the end of the whip, very soft, but it's powerful enough to break off the branch of a tree. That is what the Wing Chun punch is all about. It's a very powerful punch. And we don't telegraph in our system. We don't do any extra movements. We don't bounce around. We don't fight in a circle. When we move, that's it. It's all over. If we don't move, then there's no need to. And I tell my students, we go by a little philosophy, learn the ways to observe rather than destroy, avoid rather than check rather than hurt rather than maim rather than kill. For all life is precious, or can any be replaced? If they go by that, they never have to use anything. And most people who go into the martial arts go into it with the attitude, they do it for fitness. If you go into it with the attitude, you do it for self-defense, or you do it to protect yourself against somebody, then that means you're not living a good life. That means you're something to happen. Maybe in a lifetime you might have to use martial arts if you're in it for fitness, maybe one time in a lifetime. So most people, it's like a health, good for internal, external. What we're going to do, most of my students are away at BPI. I have a lot of students at BPI are getting very high grades. And I told them it's not necessary for them to come back for this demonstration. They'll be here in the summer though. And I have some advanced students and some beginners. In fact, I got a fellowcraft here tonight who just joined the school who's going to perform a form for us. But to start us out, just to give you a brief history of the system. It was developed by a woman some 300 years ago. Her name was Yuen. She was a Shaolin nun. She wanted something that was more practical and more to redirect the force. So she went to her master and asked him if he could develop something for her. So he did. He gave her just minimum centerline thoughts. And then coming across a snake and a crane fighting in the woods, she noticed how the crane always came back to the center before initiating attack, but was always soft but powerful. And also she noticed how the crane, with the circle motion, deflect the snake's strikes. So she developed further into her system those movements. From there, she taught it to a man whose name was Mr. Yuen. He later taught it to his daughter and named her after the sister, Chun. And Chun means beautiful springtime, which is after the temple. Then after that, she met a man who later incorporated the weapons that we have, which is a 6.5-point pole, which is this long pole here. And the Chun knives, which are a little bit smaller than these. These are butterfly knives. But he then taught it to his doctor, John, who then taught it to his son, Vic, who then taught it to Yuen San, who at that point in time, our system was complete. And Yuen San taught it to Sun Long, who's still living in China. I go back and see him about every other year to correct my techniques and also to teach me whatever that needs to be taught. And he taught it to Canton, who's in Hong Kong, and he taught it to my Sifu. Sifu means master and instructor, and then me. So you can see the line, the direct line. And I go back, I'm the only American to ever be taught from Sun Long in China. But most of my students are going next year, and they will too be taught, so this will be something for them. But that gives you a little history of the system. Right now I'd like to have Bob Williams come out. He's going to demonstrate the first form. Chun Dao, which means little idea. Grandmaster of the 7-Star Manor System in New York, Canton on Mott Street, who's my sequel's uncle, all the traditional weapons. And tonight we're just going to perform 2 because we don't have a whole lot of time, and I don't want to keep you till 12 o'clock at night. But Ivan? Searching for the hand or looking for the bridge. force from within. Most people don't know how to breathe correctly. They're still living, but they're not breathing correctly. You have to breathe from down in here, about 6 inches below the navel. This is your center, your balance, center, your gravity, center, your whole universe. This is where your chi or life force or spirit or whatever you want to call it is located, breath of life. As the Chinese call it chi, the Japanese call it ki, and the yogis call it prana. And only a few people know how to develop it. And through breathing exercise, they learn to breathe from here, here, and also in here. Most people only breathe very shallow from up in here. And just a slight experiment. If you inhale through the nose, which you should do it always, you never inhale through the mouth. Because the nose is a filtering device, also warms the air as it goes down into the body. But if you inhale through the nose and you leave your mouth open slightly, your tongue will naturally go up. Try it. And block the air from going in the mouth. It's natural. Vacuum. And then you exhale out the nose and the mouth. Try it, Gordon. All right, I was going to do a staff pull. Seven stall. To ask to borrow a volunteer, a dummy. Does anybody want to volunteer? I guess I can use this. All right, the next thing, we have empty hand, two-man set. Empty hand is to perfect the technique. Punches will be coming in, we'll be blocking. And you learn how to develop the technique so it's perfect. Punch comes in, develop the block, and you punch. Two-man set, you learn to develop the senses, sensitivity to touch, feeling. That's the purpose of two-man set. But then you have to develop the body. And that's what this wooden dummy is for. Watch all. It's a punch, punch, middle kick, and a low kick. And you learn to develop your limb. Through a set form. And Jim, let's show what demonstrate wooden dummy techniques. Zhong Sa.
Johnson.
Master want to hold these boards? That's all right. I'll get a couple of volunteers. These are 2 1-inch boards. And I just want to tell you this. Jim has never done this before. And we've never done it this way with a towel. But I didn't want it flying all over the place. I don't even know how it's going to come out. But they're not going to hold it the usual way. It's just going to be hanging. Also, I want to tell you something about this strike. If the Wing Chun strike is not if you're tense on the moment of impact, this board won't break, no matter how strong you are. But what it is, Jim, this is the final form in Wing Chun. You saw 2 already, Silam Tao, Chun Kyu, and Zhong Sa. Bilji, Jim just learned Bilji, but it's a very powerful form after you have mastered it. breathing exercise to develop the internal organs, also massages. But the purpose of it is if you get hit, it's like a rubber ball. Now you punch a rubber ball and you bounce off. Well, that's what's supposed to happen with your body when you develop yourself internally. Questions so far? Anybody want a free demo? Just to show you, see Bob, this is our photograph. He's going to become a master mason in a couple of weeks, right, Bob? What I want you to do is just come up. Just to show you what it is to be not able to see. You know, I don't know where he's at. But I can control the force on the point of contact. Like, think of a number 1 through 40. Let's see, 1 through 100. 1 through 100. 50.
10.
Remember your numbers. Okay. What was that number, Red Whistle? I wrote down.
41.
41. Who was closest to 41? Stand up. You got one too? You hit 41? Yeah. What was your number? 2 days.
Oh, 39.
Too bad. all the yogis, or if there's any rainbow girls and demon ladies that are here tonight, if you have any family, I would like to extend a welcome for 6 months free lessons to anybody who wants to take it at the school. It's an invitation. You can take it any time. Just explain to me that you were here tonight. And I'd like to introduce my students. Would they come along? Would you like to introduce yourself?
Jeff Seisler, Bob Williams, Amy Hurley, Sam I keep pronouncing his name. Tangona, Jim Schultz, Ivan Berlin, and Bud Shelley.
We brought Amy. Look how small Amy is. She holds a black belt in karate, but she came to my studio and has transformed into a pretty good Wing Chun practitioner. They're going to, just to show you she can do something, I didn't have her over there just for the look.
become a custom and practice tradition in Alexander Washington College on youth night to enjoy pizza prepared by Brother Pagani. We have that same pleasure this evening. Would you all